Every cycle, the same story repeats. Bitcoin drops, critics crawl out of the woodwork, and headlines scream, crypto is finished. Bitcoin doesn't need to ultimately replace fiat. It just needs to be the superior alternative, making it invaluable in today's world. Remember, don't listen to the headlines. Listen to the hash rate. Bitcoin isn't going to zero, period.
Welcome to Crypto Coach Will, where we bridge the gap for everyday investors wanting to build real wealth in crypto. I'm Will Wright, the founder of Mining Store and Imperial Wealth, two of Australia's leading companies in the crypto space. For over a decade, I've helped everyday investors safely and securely set up in the cryptocurrency market so they can build long-term sustainable wealth. In this podcast, we break down the complexities of the cryptocurrency market, everything from investing, trading, DeFi, and even Bitcoin mining. Let's get into it.
Every cycle, the same story repeats. Bitcoin drops, critics crawl out of the woodwork, and headlines scream, crypto is finished. Like CNBC's Bitcoin is dead in 2018 or the FTX fallout in 2022. How many times have you scrolled your feed on a bearish day and seen those hysterical claims that it's all over, Bitcoin failed? But what these skeptics miss is how Bitcoin has evolved, not just in price, but in massive adoption, rock-solid infrastructure, and its growing role on the global stage. In this episode, I'll dive into the data, facts, and trends. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly if Bitcoin is here to stay, even amid the market's wild swings. The loudest voices calling for Bitcoin to collapse usually have one thing in common: bias. Take Peter Schiff, for example, who's built his entire career on gold and just last week tweeted about Bitcoin's coming crash after it dipped very briefly below $100,000, claiming it will surrender all of its 2025 gains, all the while ignoring its resilience. These attacks stem from threats to their own worldviews or assets. Then there are economists and fund managers who just don't understand Bitcoin, treating it like it's a stock or fiat currency when it's a game-changing asset class. Even some of the biggest skeptics have flipped as Bitcoin has proved its staying power. Take Donald Trump, who once called it a scam in 2019. Now in 2025, he's the President of the United States and he's signing the Genius Act and the executive orders for a US strategic Bitcoin reserve, making crypto a top national priority. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon, infamous for labeling Bitcoin a fraud, and Pet Rock has softened in 2025, admitting it's real and that digital assets like stablecoins will be a part of the system by year's ends, while his bank now lets clients buy Bitcoin. And BlackRock's Larry Fink, who dismissed it as an index of money laundering in 2017, now calls Bitcoin a reserve currency, with his firm's spot ETF hitting over $100 billion in assets this year. But here's the truth: no serious macro or tech analyst is predicting Bitcoin to zero. The doomsday talk, it only comes from the uninformed, the emotional, or those guarding their turf. Let's look at the facts. The real data that completely destroys the Bitcoin is going to zero narrative. Institutional adoption has changed absolutely everything. Powerhouses like BlackRock, Fidelity, and Vanguard are offering direct Bitcoin exposure through ETFs, with BlackRock's IBIT alone holding hundreds of billions. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have raked in over $50 billion in net inflows in 2025 alone, and despite recent outflows, are pushing assets under management to nearly $139 billion. Pension funds such as Wisconsin State Investment Board, sovereign wealth funds such as Bhutan's Duck Holding, and corporations like MicroStrategy now hold Bitcoin as a core asset. This isn't just hype. Secondly, Bitcoin's network security is unmatched. The hash rate, which measures the computational power fighting over the right to mine Bitcoin, is at an all-time high, around 1,090 exahashes as of November 2025, with more computing power securing the network than ever. As a result, this means virtually attacking Bitcoin, such as a 51% attack, is now physically and economically impossible. For comparison's sake, back in 2013, the hash rate was just a mere 10 terahashes. Today, it's equivalent to hundreds of billions in energy and hardware, a million-fold increase. Thirdly, perfectly aligned with the age of AI and digital infrastructure. As the world digitizes, we need a borderless, censorship-resistant monetary system to power AI economies and decentralized tech. Bitcoin is the native currency of the internet, optimized for a future where AI, automation, and blockchain integrations like AI-driven mining efficiency dominate global finance. Fourthly, regulation is shifting from resistance to integration. Under the new US administrations, policies like the Genius Acts and SEC and CFTC harmonization roundtables are fostering growth, not bans. Bitcoin is now woven into tax system, accounting standards, and ETFs worldwide. Once embedded in these systems with the recent spot trading approvals, you can't just delete it and remove it.
Just quickly, if you're ready to take your results to the next level, my team at Imperial Wealth Crypto can help. Inside our Crypto Academy, you'll get access to my personal portfolio, strategies, real-time market insights, and the exact plays my team and I use to stay ahead. With our team of analysts monitoring the markets 24/7, we've helped investors catch moves like a coin that's done a 5x in 4 days. If you're serious about accelerating your wealth, click the link below to book in a call with my team of experts and see how we can help. Now, back to the episode.
Additionally, the halving cycles and supply shock are built in. Every 4 years, new Bitcoin issuance halves, which is what we call the halving. The latest was in April 2024, tightening that supply further. With demand surging through institutions, this has historically driven new all-time highs every cycle, and 2025's momentum suggests the pattern holds. As well as this, global network effect and store of value thesis. Over 200 to 300 million people own Bitcoin, part of a 560 million global crypto users, fueling massive network effects. Almost every single new holder strengthens this ecosystem. Bitcoin's value isn't just hype. It's rooted in this energy, in the immutable code and an unbreakable global consensus. The macro environment also impacts it. Global debt has hit a record $338 trillion in 2025, with currencies inflating amid economic uncertainty. What this does is it supercharges the demand for a deflationary 21 million capped asset like Bitcoin as a hedge. Bitcoin doesn't need to ultimately replace fiat. It just needs to be the superior alternative, making it invaluable in today's world. Think all the way back to 2018. Bitcoin crashed 80% from its peak, plummeting to around 3,200 USD amid headlines screaming, Bitcoin is done, it's finished. But behind the scenes, developers were innovating, miners were expanding, institutions were quietly diving in. By 2021, MicroStrategy, Tesla, PayPal, and the likes jumped on board, sparking the next bull run. Fast forward to 2022. The FTX collapse triggered a panic, sending Bitcoin to 16K lows and igniting the crypto winter doomsday talk. Yet again, the foundation strengthened. Spot ETFs launched at the start of 2024 with billions in inflows. And by 2025, pro-crypto policy like Trump's Genius Act fueled a surge to new all-time highs of around 126,000 USDs. The critics missed it every time. Every death of Bitcoin is just evolution in disguise, and clearing noise building resilience and emerging unbreakable. So let's wrap this up. Bitcoin isn't going to zero, period. It's secured by the largest decentralized network in history, with a hash rate over 1,000 exahashes and billions in infrastructure making it unassailable. It's held by institutions like BlackRock, integrated into global financial system via ETFs, and regulations trusted by 200 to 300 million holders worldwide. The folks still calling for zero, they just don't get it. Or they're clinging to problems Bitcoin has already solved, like inflation and centralization. Armed with these facts, you're ready to navigate the next cycle with confidence. If you found this breakdown valuable, ensure you continue to follow along, because this is just the beginning. Remember, don't listen to the headlines. Listen to the hash rate, currently clocking in at over 1,087 exahash per second and climbing, because the data doesn't lie. Bitcoin isn't dying, it's just getting started. Stay informed and stay ahead.
Thanks for tuning in to Crypto Coach Will. If you got value from today's episode, then make sure to subscribe so you never miss the latest tips to navigate the crypto market. If you're ready to take crypto investing to the next level, check out the links below where you can book in a call with my team of experts. We place strong emphasis on educating before investing in the market, so take advantage of the knowledge they have to share. Don't forget to follow us on socials @CryptoCoachWill, and I'll catch you in the next episode.